Math 6, Quarter 1, Week 1, Melc Base. Let's learn about adding and subtracting simple fractions and mixed numbers. Lesson 1. Hello kids, it's me, Teacher Frel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell for the latest video. You can also follow my Facebook page, Teacher Frel TV. For today's lesson in Math 6, we will discuss about adding and subtracting simple fractions and mixed numbers. This is Lesson 1 of Week 1. For most essential learning competencies, adds and subtracts simple fractions and mixed numbers without or with regrouping. After going through this lesson, you are expected to add and subtract simple fractions and mixed numbers without or with regrouping. Fractions are very important in our day-to-day living. Whatever we do daily is just a portion of our tasks or goals on that day. Unconsciously, you are adding parts of your day to know your finished task. Fractions are similar if they have the same denominator. It is dissimilar if they have different denominators. To understand more about our lesson today, we will start our topic by doing Learning Task 1. Identify similar and dissimilar fractions. On your notebook, write S if the fractions are similar and D if it is dissimilar. Number 1. 2/3 and 1/3. First, look at the denominators. The denominators are the same. So is it similar or dissimilar fraction? Very good. The answer is S. Similar fractions. Number 2. 3/4 and 1/4. Are they dissimilar or similar fractions? Very good. The answer is S. They are similar fractions. Number 3. 4/7 and 7/8. Are they dissimilar or similar fractions? Very good. The correct answer is D. They are dissimilar fractions. Number 4. 2/5 and 5/11. Are they similar or dissimilar fractions? Very good. The answer is D. Dissimilar fractions. And number 5. 7/13 and 7/9. Are they similar or dissimilar fractions? Very good. The answer is D. Dissimilar fractions. So number 4, 3, and 5 are dissimilar fractions because their denominators are not the same. While number 1 and 2 are similar fractions because their denominator are the same. When we add or subtract similar fractions, simply add or subtract the numerators and copy the common denominator. Then simplify the resulting fraction if necessary. When the sum or difference is an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. Example number 1. 3/5 plus 1/5. These are similar fractions. Simply add the numerators. 3 plus 1. Then copy the common denominator, which is 5. 3 plus 1 equals 4. 4/5. The answer is 4/5. Example 2. 7/9 minus 3/9. These are similar fractions. So simply subtract the numerator. 7 minus 3. Then copy the common denominator, which is 9. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Then copy the denominator. 4/9. The answer is 4/9. To add or subtract dissimilar fractions, change the fraction to similar fraction using equivalent fraction. Add or subtract the numerators. Copy the common denominator. Then simplify the resulting fraction if necessary. When the sum or difference is an improper fraction, change it to a mixed number. Example number 1, 3/5 plus 7/10. So these fractions are dissimilar fraction because their denominators are not the same. So we will going to change the fraction to similar fraction by using the equivalent fraction. Let's get the LCD of 5 and 10. The first three multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15. And the first three multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30. Now look at the LCD of 5 and 10s. So the least common denominators of 5 and 10 is 10. For denominator 5, 10 is the second multiple of 5. And for the denominator 10, 10 is the first multiple of 10. Now multiply 2, which is the second multiple of 5, by the numerator of the first fraction. 2 times 3 equals 6. Then copy the common denominator, which is 10. Next, for the second fraction, multiply 1 by the numerator of the second fraction. 1 times 7 equals 7. Then copy the common denominator. So now the fractions are similar fractions, 6/10 and 7/10. Add the numerators, 6 plus 7. Then copy the common denominator, 10. 6 plus 7 equals 13. Then copy the denominator, 10. The answer is 13 over 10. So 13 over 10 is improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. Change the improper fraction 13 over 10 to mixed number. How to change it? We will divide 13 over 10. 13 divided by 10 equals, how many tens in 13? Correct. There is only one 10. So 1 is the whole number. And how many will be the remainder? The remainder is 3. The remainder 3 will be the numerator and copy the denominator 10. So the answer is 1 and 3/10. Now let's move to learning task 2. Perform the indicated operations. Write your answer in your notebook. Number 1. 5 sevens minus 2 sevens equals. So this given fraction are similar fraction. Simply subtract the numerators. 5 minus 2 equals 3. Then copy the common denominator, which is 7. So the answer is 3 sevens. Number 2. 9 tenths plus 3 tenths. These fractions are similar. So simply add the numerators. 9 plus 3 equals 11. Then copy the common denominator, 10. The answer is 12 tenths. So 12 tenths is an improper fraction. We will change improper fraction 12/10 to mixed number by dividing 12 divided by 10. So 12 divided by 10 is 1. 1 is the whole number and the remainder 2 is the numerator, then copy the common denominator, 10. The answer is 1 and 2/10. We can simplify this. We can reduce this to lowest term by dividing numerator 2 and the denominator 10 by 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1 and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. The answer is 1 and 1/5. Number 3. 3/4 minus 2/3. The given fractions are dissimilar fractions because their denominator are not the same. So we are going to change it to similar fractions. First, get the LCD of 4 and 3. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16. And the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12. The common denominators of 4 and 3 is 12. 12 is the third multiples of 4, and 12 is the fourth multiples of 3. Multiply 3 to the first numerator. 3 times 3 equals 9. Then copy the common denominator 12. Then multiply 4 to the second numerator. 4 times 2 equals 8. Then copy the common denominator 12. Now let's subtract. 9 minus 8 equals 1 over 12. So this is the final answer. Number 4. 5, 6 plus 1, 7. This is dissimilar fractions. Change it to similar fractions by getting the LCD of the denominator 6 and 7. The multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. The multiples of 7 are 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. There is now the least common denominator of 6 and 7. So the least common denominator is 42. For denominator 6, 42 is the 7th multiple of 6. And 42 is the 6th multiple of 7. Now let us multiply the first numerator. 7 times 5 equals 35, then copy the common denominator 42. Plus, multiply the second numerator. 6 times 1 equals 6, then copy the common denominator 42. Now, let's add 35 plus 6. 35 plus 6 equals 41 over 42. So this is the final answer. Number 5. We have 3 fractions. So these are similar fraction. Then copy the common denominator 10. Equals 4 over 10s. Now we can reduce this to lowest term by getting the GCF of 4 and 10s. So the GCF of 4 and 10s is 2. 4 divided by 2 equals 2 and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So the answer is 2/5. This is the final answer. And for number 6, 2 7s plus 3 7s plus 5 7. These are similar fraction. Simply add the numerators. 2 plus 3 plus 5, then copy the common denominators. 7. 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals 10. 10 over 7. As you can see, the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So this is improper fraction. Change it to a mixed number. 10 divided by 7 equals 1. 1 is the whole number, then there will be the remainder 3. This will be the numerator and copy the denominator 7. The answer is 1 and 3 sevenths. This is the final answer. If you know how to add or subtract similar and dissimilar fractions, you can also add or subtract mixed numbers easily. For example, 1 and 3/5 plus 2 and 1/5. So these fractions are mixed numbers. Now, add or subtract the whole numbers. We will add first the whole numbers 1 and 2. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. And also, add or subtract the fractional part. The fractional part are 3/5 and 1/5. 3/5 plus 1/5. These are similar fractions. Because they are similar fraction, simply add the numerators. Copy first the common denominator 5. Then add the numerators. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So the answer is 4/5. Now we can put together the whole number and the fraction. So 3 plus 4/5 equals 3 and 4/5. This is the final answer. For learning task 3, perform the indicated operations. Write your answer in your notebook. Number 1. 2 and 1/4 plus 3 and 1/2, 2 and 1/3. First, let's add and subtract the whole numbers. 2 plus 3 minus 2. 2 plus 3 equals 5 minus 2 equals 3. Now the fractional parts are 1/4 plus 1/2 minus 1/3. So as you can see, the fractional parts are dissimilar fractions. We will change them to similar fractions by getting the LCD of 4, 2, and 3. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Now get the LCD or the least common denominator. So the least common denominator is 12. For denominator 4, 12 is the third multiples. Denominator 2, 12 is the sixth multiples. And denominator 3, 12 is the fourth multiples. Now let's multiply. 3 times 1, then 6 times 1, then 4 times 1. First, copy the common denominators 12. 3 times 1 equals 3. 6 times 1 equals 6. 4 times 1 equals 4. Now, write first the whole number, 3. Then, add and subtract the numerators. 3 plus 6 equals 9 minus 4 equals 5. Then copy the denominator 12. The answer is 3 and 5 twelfths. Number 2. 3 and 2 fifths minus 3 fourths plus 5 and 1 half. First, separate the whole numbers 3 plus 5. Then, write the fractional parts. 2 fifths minus 3 fourths plus 1 half. So these fractions are dissimilar fraction. Change them to similar fractions by getting the LCD of 5, 4, and 2. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. And the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Did you see the LCD? Yes. The least common denominators of 5, 4, and 2 is 20. For denominator 5, 20 is the fourth multiples of 5. For denominator 4, 20 is the fifth multiples of 4. And for the denominator 2, 20 is the 10th multiples of 2. Now multiply 4 to the first numerator, 4 times 2. Multiply 5 to the second numerator, 5 times 3. And multiply 10 to the third numerator, 10 times 1. Let's copy first the common denominator, 20. Now multiply. 4 times 2 equals 8, 5 times 3 equals 15, and 10 times 1 equals 10. Now let's subtract and add. 8 minus 15. As you can see, we cannot subtract the minuend to the subtrahend because 8 is smaller than 15. If it is happen, we can apply regrouping by simply borrow 1 to its whole number, which is 3. 3 minus 1 equals 2. The whole number will become 2, and we borrow 1. The first fraction will be 1 and 8 over 20. Multiply 1 times 20 equals 20. Then add 8. 20 plus 8 equals 28 over 20. So now we can subtract the minuend and subtrahend. 28 minus 15 equals 13. Then add the third fraction. First, let's add the whole number. 2 plus 5 equals 7. 13 plus 10 equals 23. Then copy the common denominator 20. So the answer is 7 and 23 over 20. 23 over 20 is improper fraction. Change it to a mixed number. First, let's focus to this improper fraction, 23 over 20. Divide 23 by 20. 23 divided by 20 equals 1. 1 is the whole number. Then there is a remainder. The remainder is 3. And copy the common denominator 20. So the answer is 1 and 3 over 20. Now, add the whole numbers. 7 plus 1 equals 8. So 8 is the whole number and write the proper fraction 3 over 20. So the final answer is 8 and 3 over 20. Number 3. 2 fifths plus 6 and 3 sevenths minus 2 and 2 thirds. First, separate the whole numbers. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Then, write the fractional parts. 2 fifths plus 3 sevenths minus 2 thirds. These fractions are dissimilar fractions. Get the LCD of 5, 7, and 3. These are the multiples of 5, 7, and 3. The least common denominators of 5, 7, and 3 is 105. We can write now the common denominators, 105. Let's have another technique to get the numerator by dividing 105, which is the denominator, by 5, which is the first denominator of the fractional part. 105 divided by 5 and then multiply by 2 times 2. The answer is 42. So that is the numerator of the first fraction. For the second fraction, divide 105 divided by 7 times 3 equals 45. That is the numerator of the second fraction. And for the last fraction, divide 105 divided by 3 times 2 equals 70. So that is the numerator of the third fraction. First, let's write the whole number 4. Then add 42 plus 45 minus 70 equals 17. Then copy the common denominator 105. The answer is 4 and 17 over 105. Number 4. 2 and 4 fifths plus 7 and 1 half minus 1 and 3 fourths. Separate the whole number. 2 plus 7 minus 1 equals 8. Then, add and subtract the fractional part. 4 fifths plus 1 half minus 3 fourths. So these are dissimilar fractions. Get the LCD of 5, 2, and 4. The multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. The multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Did you see the LCD? Yes. The LCD of 5 is 20, which is the fourth multiples of 5. The LCD of 2 is 20, which is the 10th multiples of 2. And the LCD of 4 is 20, which is the 5th multiples of 4. Now multiply to its numerators. 4 times 4, 10 times 1, 5 times 3. Then copy the common denominators, 20. Let's multiply. 4 times 4 equals 16. 10 times 1 equals 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. Now, to get the answer, copy the whole number 8. Then, 16 plus 10 equals 26 minus 15 equals 11 over 20. So, the final answer is 8 and 11 over 20. And for number 5, 6 and 2 fifths plus 3 and 1 eighths plus 2 thirds. Add the whole number, 6 plus 3 equals 9. Then the fractional parts, 2 fifths plus 1 eighths plus 2 thirds. The fractional parts are dissimilar fraction. So get the LCD. The LCD of 5, 8, and 3. So the LCD of 5, 8, and 3 is 120. Now, copy the common denominators, 120. And then, to get the numerators, let us divide 120 to the denominator of the first fraction. 120 divided by 5 times 2 equals 48. So this is the numerator of the first fraction. For the second fraction, divide 120 divided by 8 times 1 equals 15. So this is the numerator of the second fraction. Next, for the last fraction, 120 divided by 3 times 2 equals 80. So this is the numerator of the third fraction. And now let's answer. Copy first the whole number 9. Then add 48 plus 15 plus 80 equals 143. Then copy the common denominator 120. The answer is 9 and 143 over 120. First, let's focus to this fraction. 143 over 120. This fraction is improper fraction. Change this to mixed number. Let's divide 140 divided by 120 equals 1. 1 is the whole number, then the remainder is 23. This will be the numerator. And then copy the denominator 120. 1 and 23 over 120. Then, add the whole number. 9 plus 1 equals 10. Then copy 23 over 120. So the final answer is 10 and 23 over 120. There are cases that the fractional parts cannot be subtracted. That is, minuend is smaller than the subtrahend. If it happens, you can apply regrouping. Regrouping means you need to borrow 1 from a whole number to make the fraction of the minuend larger than the fraction of the subtrahend. For example, 4 and 1/5 minus 2 and 3/5. Let's see the numerator. 1 minus 3 cannot be subtracted because 1 is smaller than 3. To make the first fraction bigger, let's borrow 1 from 4. 4 minus 1 equals 3. So 4 becomes 3. Then, we borrow 1 from 4. So it becomes 1 and 1/5. Now multiply 1 times 5 equals 5. Then add 1. 5 plus 1 equals 6. So the fraction is now 6/5. We can now subtract this to 3/5. So now let's copy the whole number of the first fraction. 3, it's now 3 and 6/5 minus 2 and 3/5. Let us subtract first the whole number. 3 minus 2 equals 1. Then now subtract the numerators. 6 minus 3 equals 3. Then copy the common denominator 5. The answer is 1 and 3/5. For learning task 4, add or subtract the following fractions. Write your answer to its simplest form. Number 1, 7/8 minus 5/6. So this fraction are dissimilar fraction. Change it to similar fraction by getting the LCD of 8 and 6. The multiples of 8 are 8, 16, 24, 30. And the multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24. So the LCD is now here. The LCD of 8 and 6 is 24. 24 is the third multiples of 8. 24 is the fourth multiples of 6. Now, copy the common denominator 24s. Then, multiply 3 times 7 and 4 times 5. 3 times 7 equals 21 and 4 times 5 equals 20. Then, 21 minus 20 equals 1 over 24. This is the final answer. Number 2, 7/6 plus 3/4. This is the similar fraction. Change this to similar fraction by getting the LCD, 6 and 4. The multiples of 6 is 6, 12, 18, 24. And the multiples of 4 is 4, 8, 12, 16. So we have now the least common denominator, which is 12. The LCD of 6 is 12. 12 is the second multiple of 6. The LCD of 4 is 12. 12 is the third multiple of 4. Now copy the common denominator 12. Then multiply the numerators. 2 times 7 and 3 times 3. 2 times 7 equals 14. 3 times 3 equals 9. Then add the numerators. 14 plus 9 equals 23 over 12. So this fraction is improper fraction. Change it to mixed number. By dividing, 23 divided by 12 equals 1. And there is a remainder, 11. Then copy the denominator 12. The answer is 1 and 11 over 12. Number 3. 10 and 5 sevenths minus 5 and 2 thirds. First, get the LCD of 7 and 3. So these are the multiples of 7 and these are the multiples of 3. So we have now the least common denominators, which is 21. 21 is the third multiples of 7. 21 is the seventh multiples of 3. Now copy the LCD. Then we will multiply. 3 times 5 equals 15. Then 7 times 2 equals 14. Now let's answer. First, subtract the whole numbers. 10 minus 5 equals 5. Then let's add. Put them together. Equals, copy the whole number 5. Then subtract the numerators. 15 minus 14 equals 1. Copy the denominator over 21. The answer is 5 and 1 over 21. And for number 4, 8 and 5 eighths plus 5 and 3 fourths. First, let's get the LCD of 8 and 4. The multiples of 8 are 8 and 16. The multiples of 4 are 4, 8. So their LCD is 8. 8 is the first multiple of 8. Then 8 is the second multiple of 4. Then copy the LCD, 8, and then multiply the numerators. 1 times 5 equals 5. 2 times 3 equals 6. Then add the whole numbers. 8 plus 5 equals 13. Then put them together. So write the whole number 13. Then add the numerators. 5 plus 6 equals 11 over 8. So as you can see, the fraction is improper fraction. Change it to mixed number. 11 divided by 8 equals 1. Then there is a remainder, 3. Then copy the denominator 8. The answer is 1 and 3 8. Then add the whole numbers. 13 plus 1 equals 14. Then write the fraction, 3 eighths. So the answer is 14 and 3 over 8. So kids, do you understand our lesson for today? Wow! Good job! Kids, I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. Until our next topic, bye-bye kids! Thanks for watching!